My dear students, all of you are welcome. Today we are going to discuss about bonus shares and right issue. Meaning of bonus. So, what is bonus? Bonus is an additional amount paid by the company to the share distributed to its shareholders is called bonus. It's an accumulated profit or surplus profit are distributed by the way of bonus. Otherwise, we can say that when company distributes part of its accumulated profit is called bonus. Okay, there are different ways by which the company can pay bonus to the shareholders. There are three ways by which the company can make payment. Number one, by cash payment. Number two, by issuing bonus share that we are dealing in this chapter. Okay, fully paid bonus shares. And three, by making partly paid shares into fully paid shares. These are three ways by which the company can distribute bonus. Okay. Now, cash bonus. So, cash bonus is not popular at all, but even though the company can distribute the accumulated profits by the way of cash, it is not popular because working capital of the company will be affected. Why? Because by distributing cash bonus to the shareholders, so there will be a reduction in the amount of cash available to the company. So it will affect the working capital. Working capital of the company will be affected. So that is the limitation of the cash bonus. Then there are some circumstances by which the company can issue cash bonus. Number one, the company has sufficient extra amount of cash. Then there is no problem. The company can distribute bonus. And then number two, company does not want to raise the rate of dividend. Clear? That means, suppose the company is paying an annual dividend of 15%. If the company is increasing the rate of dividend, the market price of the share will go up. To avoid this, if the company does not want to raise the rate of dividend, this additional profit can be distributed by the way of bonus. Clear? Sometime in any year, company may get a higher profit or higher earning. In that case, the company can increase the rate of dividend. If the company does not want to increase the rate of dividend, in that case, the company can distribute this additional profit as bonus, not regular dividend. Instead of regular dividend, the company can distribute this amount as bonus. That is a point. And then third circumstances, due to limitation of authorized capital. Authorized capital is the maximum amount of capital that the company can raise. Clear? By issuing bonus shares, what will happen? The capital will increase. The share capital will increase. So there is a maximum ceiling. That is, authorized capital is the ceiling of the share capital. So by the issue of bonus share, sometime this ceiling may be crossed. Okay. In that case, there is a limitation of issuing of bonus shares. In that case, the company go for cash bonus rather than bonus shares. Okay. Then we can see what is the journal entry for the payment of cash bonus. So we have to debit statement of profit or loss account or journal reserve, or any accumulated profit is to be debited, and bonus payable account is to be credited. Okay, this is the first entry. And the second entry, bonus payable account debtor to bank. That is a payment of bonus to the shareholders. So there are two entries are required for making cash bonus. Okay. Next, we can see what is bonus shares. That is second option for the company for payment of bonus. Okay, so bonus shares. So I already told you that the company can make payment the additional profit to the shareholders by the way of shares. It is an additional shares given by the company to the shareholders at free of cost. So bonus shares are those shares which are issued by the company at free of cost. So company is not collecting any amount from the shareholders. Company is not collecting any amount from the shareholders, and it is issued to the existing shareholders only. Okay. From where? From its large reserves created out of past profits. Okay. These are shares issued without any consideration. I told you that the company is not get anything from the shareholders. It is issued at free of cost. Bonus shares are free shares. When a company issue bonus shares out of profits or reserves, its reserves or profits are converted into capital. So that is why it is called capitalization of profit. That means the profits are converted into capital. Profits are converted into capital. Accumulated profits are converted into capital. So it is called capitalization of reserves or capitalization of profit. Okay. Now see. So what are the circumstances of issuing bonus shares? When the company can issue bonus shares? Okay, it's very simple. So see, when the company wishes to capitalize its huge undistributed profits or reserve, it can issue bonus. When the company has not sufficient cash reserve, company have the profits but does not have the cash. In such a situation, the company can issue bonus shares. Clear? That means whenever the company pays the accumulated profit by the way of cash, what will happen? The working capital of the company will be affected. So to avoid this, company can distribute such profit by the way of issue of bonus shares. Okay, that is second circumstances. And the third one, when value of fixed assets of the company exceeds its capital, the difference is capitalized by issuing bonus shares. That means in asset side, there will be fixed assets. These fixed assets are to be financed from the equity share capital, or is to be financed. That is a normal policy. The company is adopting that. Company is normally adopting a policy that fixed assets are to be financed by the way of equity share capital. Sometimes the fixed capital may exceed than the equity share capital. What will happen? That means a portion of the debt capital or other capital have been utilized for purchasing fixed assets. To avoid such situation, the difference between the share capital and the fixed assets are to be capitalized by issuing bonus shares. That is the point. Okay. Then there are some circumstances where the bonus shares cannot be issued. Number one, if subscribed and paid up capital exceeds authorized capital. I told you that. So there is a ceiling, maximum capital. If it is crossing the limit, the company cannot issue bonus shares. If subscribed and paid up capital exceeds authorized capital, then bonus shares can be issued only as an additional or extra dividend and not as a regular dividend. The company has to pay the regular dividend as usual. In addition to that, the company can make payment. The payment of accumulated profit by the way of bonus, not as a regular dividend. Okay. Then, what are the effect of issuing bonus shares? See, number one, what will happen if the company issuing bonus shares? What will happen? Increase the number of shares. Additional shares will come into the picture. So it will increase the number of shares. Net worth is unaffected. What is net worth? Net worth actually the difference between the total assets and the outsider's liability. Okay, here there is no changes in the assets of the company. So only what is happening? The shareholders fund, that is profits or accumulated reserves are converted into share capital. So there will not be any changes in the outsiders liability. There will not be any changes in the fixed assets. So net worth will be intact. There will not be any changes in the net worth. Okay. Reduce dividend per share. How it is happening? Because number of shares are increased. Then in the future, dividend per share will decrease because of the increase in the number of shares. And 4, no effect on the assets of the company. I already told you that net worth is unaffected. That is, fixed assets or the current assets will not be changed by the issue of bonus shares. Only the change is the profits are capitalized. That is only the change. So no effect on the assets of the company. Okay. Then we can see some advantages of issuing bonus shares. First of all, we can see to the shareholders what are the advantages of issuing of bonus to the shareholders. Number 1, shareholders get additional shares without paying cash for it. Okay. Number 2, partly paid shares get converted into fully paid without giving cash. That is third option, I think. By utilizing accumulated profit, the company can make partly paid shares into fully paid shares. Okay. In such cases, the shareholders get their partly paid shares into fully paid shares without paying any amount of cash. And the third one, no tax is to be paid on the bonus shares received by the shareholders. When they are getting the dividend, they have to pay income tax. But in the case of shares, they need not pay any income tax to the government. Okay, so they are free from tax. Okay, whenever they are getting shares. Okay, so there is no tax for that. That is the benefit to the shareholders. And the fourth one, it increases the liquidity of shares because they are getting more and more shares, so they can liquidate their share in the stock market. So ability to convert into cash is called liquidity. Okay, liquidity will increase. Then to the company, there are some advantages. Number 1, as the bonus issue does not involve any cash payment, liquidity or working capital of the company is not affected. I already told you that the working capital of the company will not be affected. Number 2, workers do not create problems of demanding wages or increase in salary because the accumulated profit will reduce. Whenever the employees or the workers are seeing more and more accumulated profit in the balance sheet of the company, they will demand to increase their wages or bonus. So this demand can be overcome or can be reduced if the companies are issuing bonus shares. So it is better for the company to issue bonus shares whenever there is a huge accumulated profit in the balance sheet. Then there will be no more demand from the. Otherwise, the employees are feeling that the company is making a huge profit and they will demand to increase their wages or salaries. Okay. There are some disadvantages also. So we have to see what are the disadvantages. First one, to the shareholders, there are some disadvantages. Number 1, dividend per share is reduced. Already told you that. If the rate of dividend cannot be maintained, the market value of the share will fall. That means whenever the company issue bonus shares, number of shares will be increased. Automatically, the dividend per share will decrease. Okay, what will happen? The rate of dividend will reduce. Suppose presently company is getting ₹10 per share as dividend. Then company issued bonus shares, then the company is getting only, or the shares are getting only ₹8 as dividend. What will happen? The market value of the share will fall because dividend per share is reduced, declined. Okay. To the company, there are some disadvantages are there. Number 1, market value of the shares may fall if the rate of dividend is not maintained. Already told you that. As the result, the company's reputation may suffer. Number two, it encourages undesirable speculation. That means there will be volatility in the share prices. So there are chances for the speculation. Speculation means there are speculation. That means the brokers or members of the stock exchange are doing some speculative activities. Okay, speculative activity means they are selling or buying on speculation. Okay, that is the point. Then there are so many conditions for the issue of bonus shares. We can see so many conditions. Number one, the bonus issue should be authorized by articles of association. Number two, the proposal of the board of directors of the bonus shares should be approved by the members in the general meeting. So the proposal is put forward by the board of directors, that should be approved by the shareholders in the annual general body meeting. Then third one, should have a sufficient profits and reserve, then only the company can issue bonus share, then only company can issue. Okay, should satisfy the guideline of this. There are so many guidelines are there issued by the SEBI from time to time. So the company must follow these guidelines while issuing bonus. Okay, and the fifth point, the paid up shares, if any, should be fully paid up. That means partly paid shares are not issued bonus shares. Only fully paid up shares can be issued additional shares. Okay, or bonus can be utilized for making partly paid shares into fully paid. That is another point. But bonus shares can be issued only for those fully paid shares. Okay, paid up shares. So that must be fully paid up shares. So there is a small correction. The paid up shares means fully paid up shares. If any should be, that means the partly paid shares should be fully paid before issuing bonus share. That is the point. Okay. Then there are so what are the sources for the bonus issue? Okay, so we can discuss what are the sources for bonus issue. Then see, we have basically there are two sources. Number one, revenue profits or reserves or profits. Number two, capital profit. Normally, a business may have two kinds of profits, will have two kinds of profit, revenue profits and the capital profits. Okay. The bonus shares can be issued out of revenue profits or capital profits. Okay. What are the revenue profits? Profit and loss account balance is a revenue profit. General reserve. That means normal circumstances, the company is getting revenue profit. General reserve. Credit balance in the sinking fund. So after redemption of the liability. Okay. Then dividend equalization reserve. What is dividend equalization reserve? Dividend equalization reserve is a reserve maintained by the company for equalizing the dividend. That means, suppose company may pay different rate of dividend in different years. So if the dividend, suppose company is getting more and more profit in a particular year, they will not distribute full profit as dividend. So what will they will do? They will keep a part of profit in the business itself. So and also they are keeping some amount for paying dividend in future for equalizing the dividend. For example, this year company can make a dividend. Company can declare a dividend of rupees 10 per share. Okay. Next year, the company is not suppose company is getting a huge profit. Then also company is distributing dividend rupees 10 per share only. Okay. Then balance they are transferring this profit to a particular reserve. It is called a dividend equalization reserve. So for what purpose the company is using this dividend equalization reserve? Whenever the profit is short or whenever the company is not getting sufficient earning for distributing dividend at a particular rate, the company can utilize this reserve for distributing dividend. Okay, actually it is a profit. Clear? Profit, that is a actually it is a profit taken out of the normal profits, but it is used for maintaining the dividend rate. That is the point. And B, capital profit. What are the capital profit of the company? profit prior to incorporation. What is that meaning? That means, for example, the company started its operation on 1st January 2020. But the company got the registration only on the 1st February. 1st January is the starting date of the company, but the company got registration only in the only on in only in 1st February. So there is a profit for 1 month which is prior to incorporation. Registration begins. Okay, once again I am explaining. For example, so we have second option, that is capital reserve. There are so many points are there. The company can utilize the capital reserves also for the distribution of bonus shares. Here, number one, profit prior to incorporation. That is profit generated by the company before the registration is called profit prior to incorporation. I am giving one example. Company started its operation on 1st January, but it's got registered, or it is registered, or it get a certificate of registration only on 1st March. Clear? So there are 2 months before incorporation, before registration. January and February is before incorporation. Then from March onwards, it is a registered company. It will become a registered company. Okay. Then this 2 months profit before registration is called profit prior to incorporation. It is called a capital profit. It is not a revenue profit. That means it should not be utilized for the distribution of dividend, but that amount can be utilized for the issue of bonus shares even if it is a capital profit. Number two, profit on sale of fixed assets or business. That already you know that whenever the company is selling fixed assets, sometimes there may be profit. It is called a capital profit. It is capital profit. It can be used for the distribution of bonus shares. Third point, capital redemption reserve account created for the redemption of preference shares. Already you know that. Clear? In the chapter redemption of preference shares, you studied that is amount equal to redeemable preference shares are to be transferred to capital redemption reserve. That amount is called capital redemption reserve. That can be utilized for the purpose of issuing bonus shares. And the fourth one, security premium collected in cash. Security premium collected also can be utilized for the issue of bonus shares. Okay, these are the sources for the bonus issue. One point you have to keep in mind while you are understanding the sources for bonus issue, that is capital redemption reserves and security premium reserve account can only be used for issuing fully paid bonus shares. That means it should not be, or it must not be used for making partly paid shares into fully paid shares. That point you have to keep in mind. Then one more point, no bonus issue shall be made out of reserves created by revaluation of fixed assets. That means whenever you are reevaluating the fixed assets, there will be capital profit. Clear? So this amount should not be utilized for the issue of bonus shares. These 2 points you must keep in mind. Then type of bonus issue. There are 2 types of bonus issue. One is fully paid bonus shares. That means accumulated profits are utilized for issuing fully paid bonus shares to the shareholders. Number 2, we can utilize accumulated profit or general reserve for converting the partly paid shares into fully paid shares. Okay. Now we are going into the accounting treatment of the bonus issue. Okay, accounting treatment when issued at par, when fully paid bonus shares are issued, journal entry is this. That means we can utilize capital reserve, security premium, capital redemption reserve, debenture redemption reserve, general reserve, statement of profit or loss account. That means we are taking profit from the profit and loss account. Then to the bonus to the shareholders account. Okay, so this is the first entry. Sometimes there may be capital reserve only, sometimes there may be security premium account only. Okay, so this is a model entry when it is issued at a par on the declaration of bonus. Number 2, bonus to shareholders account up to share capital is a normal entry. Okay, issue of share capital. Clear? That means we are issuing bonus shares. That is second entry. First entry, we are transferring the profits, accumulated profit to bonus to shareholders account. And the second entry, issue of bonus shares. Okay, on issue of bonus shares. Okay, next. Accounting treatment. When fully paid bonus shares are issued, when issued at premium, journal entry same. What is the difference? Only the for the issue entry, bonus to shareholders account after to share capital to security premium. So first entry is the same as the earlier entry. That means we have to utilize security premium, capital redemption reserve, sinking fund account, general reserve account, profit and loss account, after to bonus to shareholders account, and finally bonus to shareholders account after to share capital to security premium. Okay, next, when bonus is given to convert partly paid shares into fully paid shares. Here, journal entry first entry, we must not use capital redemption reserve and the security premium for converting the partly paid shares into fully paid shares. So only the difference of the above entry is we have to avoid two item, capital redemption reserve and the security premium. So balance all the same. Okay, so capital reserve account after debenture redemption reserve account. Debenture redemption reserve can be used, but capital redemption reserve cannot be used. General reserve account, profit or loss account to bonus to shareholders account. Then finally, so we have to call the final call because we are converting partly paid shares into fully paid shares. So share final call account after to share capital. Finally, on making due call, then finally bonus to shareholders account after to share final call account. Bonus to shareholders account after to share to final call account. Okay. So these are the entry required for making or for converting partly paid shares into fully paid shares. That once again I am explaining. First entry for declaration of bonus, that we are taking profit out of the accumulated profits, that is the entry that is transferred to bonus to shareholders account. Then we have to make the final call because it is a partly paid shares. So what is the entry for the making final call? Share final call account after to share capital. That is a normal entry that you have studied in the earlier classes. Okay, then bonus to shareholders account after that the amount is utilized for making it is fully paid. So bonus to shareholders account after to share final call. The account is closed. Okay, on utilization of bonus. Then one point again I am saying that security premium account and capital redemption reserve account cannot be utilized to convert the partly paid shares into fully paid shares. I already told you that. So one example for you. X Limited with a paid up capital of rupees 5 lakh divided into shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid, had resolved to capitalize rupees 80,000 of the accumulated reserves of rupees 1,25,000 by issuing bonus shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid, past necessary journal entry. This is the question. Here, existing share 5 lakh divided into shares of rupees 10 each. That means 50,000 shares are there at rupees 10 each. The company now capitalize rupees 80,000 only. They are going to capitalize rupees 80,000 only. Out of the accumulated reserve, total accumulated profit 1,25,000. Out of this, company are going to capitalize rupees 80,000 by issuing bonus shares of rupees 10 each. That means the company is going to issue 8,000 shares of rupees 10 each. So what will be the first entry? So we have to use the reserve for giving bonus. So reserve account after to bonus to shareholders account rupees 80,000. Second entry, bonus to shareholders account up to share capital. It is issued at par. This is very simple entry. So how many shares are issued? 8,000 shares of rupees 10 each are issued. Okay, issue of fully paid bonus shares, that is 8,000 shares at rupees 10 each. That is the point. The second problem, AB Limited has a share capital of rupees 20 lakhs in equity shares of rupees 10 as fully paid. The company now declares a bonus out of its free reserves of rupees 8 lakh. How much free reserves? 8 lakh. Okay. This bonus is to be paid by the issue of the equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 2. That means the company is going to issue bonus at rupees 12, that is 10 plus 2 per share for every 4 share held. For every 4 share held means the company going to issue 4 share for 1 share for every 4 share. Okay. For example, if a person is having 4 share, they will get 1 share as bonus. Suppose a company is having, a shareholder is having 100 shares. How many shares they will get? 25,000. 25. Okay, like this. The shares are recorded at rupees 15 on the date of allotment of the bonus share. Give journal entries to record the above transaction. Uh, Here, how much amount is to be utilized for the issue of bonus? That is a very important question. Very important question. AB Limited has a share capital existing. How many shares they are going to issue? That we have to calculate. Okay. That means 20 lakhs equity shares are there of rupees 10 each. That the company is going to issue 1 share for every 4 shares held. Okay. So we can see the working now. Number of existing shares? 2 lakh. Right? How we are getting it? That is 20 lakhs divided by 10 per share. So 2 lakh shares are there presently. Bonus issue, 1 share for every 4 shares. That means how many bonus shares will be there? 2 lakh divided by 4. That means we are getting, the shareholders are getting 1 share for every 4 shares. So there will be total 50,000 bonus shares. So 50,000 shares are issued at rupees 12, that is 10 plus 2. So total amount required for the bonus issue is 6 lakh. The amount required for the bonus issue is 6 lakh. Premium on bonus issue 50,000 into 2, that is 1 lakh. Okay, we can discuss the journal entry. Journal entry, first entry, reserves account after 2. Bonus to shareholders account 6 lakh. On the declaration of bonus out of reserves. In the second entry, bonus to shareholders account after 2, share capital. They are issued at, the shares are issued at premium. So premium account is to be credited. Journal entry, bonus to shareholders account after 6 lakh. To share capital 5 lakhs. To security premium 1 lakh. Issue of 50,000 bonus shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 2 per share. Now, illustration number 3. X Limited has a fully paid equity share capital of rupees 5 lakh divided into shares of rupees 10 each and 1 lakh partly paid shares of rupees 10 each. So there are 2 category of shares, fully paid shares and partly paid shares. Partly paid shares, rupees 7 paid up. It has an accumulated profit to the credit of its profits and loss account, rupees 2 lakh. Free reserves 1 lakh 50 and security premium of rupees 50,000. Okay, all this amount the company can utilize for, no, only the profit and loss account and the reserves can be utilized for converting partly paid shares into fully paid shares. The security premium account should not be used for converting partly paid shares into fully paid shares. It has decided to convert the partly paid shares into fully paid shares. So we can utilize 2 amount, rupees 2 lakh and rupees 1 lakh 50,000. Okay. Now the bonus was declared at rupees 6 per share on the fully paid up capital. Past necessary journal entries. Okay, this is the question. Okay, working note, number of existing shares 5 lakh divided by 10, 50,000 shares. Amount required, how we can calculate? 1 lakh into 3, that is final call is rupees 3. Final call is rupees 3. So 1 lakh shares are there. So 1 lakh shares are partly paid shares. So 1 lakh into 3. So 3 lakh is the unpaid calls. Clear? So this is 3 lakh is required for making partly paid shares into fully paid shares. Or otherwise, in question also you are given that bonus is rupees 6 per share, that we can calculate. So the amount required is 50,000 into 6. 50,000 shares are the, so into 6 are paid, so totally 3 lakhs. This also you can utilize, means for the calculation you can like this. The amount is utilized out of accumulated profit of rupees 2 lakh and rupees 1 lakh out of free reserves. Okay, total required amount is 3 lakhs. Okay, accumulated profit of rupees 2 lakh and out of free reserve 1 lakh. So first of all we can take it from the accumulated profit, then from free reserves. Okay, statement of profit and loss account 2 lakh, reserves account after 1 lakh, to bonus to shareholders account 3 lakh on declaration of bonus. Then share final call account after share capital 3 lakh, normal entry. Then bonus to shareholders account after share final call account. Clear? So these are all the normal entry. First entry, so we are utilizing from the statement of profit or loss account. Firstly, we are taking a full amount from the statement of profit or loss account. Then we are going for the reserve, free reserves. Okay. On utilization of bonus. So this is a question that you have to do by yourself. This is a question you have to do by yourself. You try it out. Okay. Okay. Next, meaning of right shares or right issue. Okay. Next part of this area. So we can now discuss the meaning of right shares or right issue. Here, according to section 62(1) of the Companies Act 2013, when the company wants to increase the subscribed capital by issue of further shares, such shares must be issued first of all to the existing shareholders in proportion of their existing shareholdings. These shares are called right shares. That means existing shareholders have a right to subscribe in the additional issue of share capital by the company. So they have right according to section 62(1). Okay, these rights are called preemptive rights. These rights are called preemptive rights. Okay, to subscribe the new shares called right issue. So this kind of issue is called, whenever the companies are issuing shares to the existing shareholders, it is called right issue. They have a right to subscribe in the additional issue by the company. Okay. Advantages of the right issue. There are 4 advantages. Actually, costs are lower because it is issued to the, so there is no advertisement is required. So cost will be lower because it is offered to the existing shareholders only. So comparatively, the costs are lower. Issue is made at the direction of the directors. Then it improves the images of the company. Raising capital is more certain than in case of public issue. Okay, all this you have to read. It's very simple points. Then another very important area of this chapter is when the company offers right issue at a price lower than the market price of the share, there will be an advantage to the existing shareholders. So there will be a difference between the right issue price and the market price. Clear? Normally, the right issue price will be lower than that of the market price. Then there will be a benefits to the existing shareholders. The value of such benefit is called, value of right. It is called preemptive right, value of preemptive right. How we can calculate this value? There are two methods, method 1 and method 2. Method 1, first of all, we have to calculate the total price of all shares, that is existing shares and the right issue. Okay, how we can calculate existing and right issue? Clear? That means existing shares into market price plus right issue into right price. That is total price of all shares. We can take an example. It will be more clear to you. Number 2, calculate the average price of all shares. Average price, that is theoretical market price, is equal to total price calculated as the step number 1 divided by number of existing shares plus number of right shares. While we are taking example, it will be more clear to you. 3, determine the value of right. So there is a formula. Value of right is equal to market price of the share minus average price of a share. Value of right, method 2, value of right is equal to 1, formula for that. Value of right is equal to number of right shares divided by total number of all shares, that is right plus existing shares, into market price minus issue price. Okay, is another formula. So one more formula you have to study in this area, that is percentage of increase in share capital. How we can calculate the percentage of increase in share capital? Increase in capital after right issue divided by share capital before right issue into 100. Then we can take an example, then it will be more clear to you. A company offers to its shareholders the right to buy 2 shares at rupees 115 for every 5 shares held. Okay. The market price of the share is rupees 150 each. The existing share capital of the company is rupees 30 lakhs. Calculate the value of rights and also the percentage increase in share capital that we are going to compute. Okay, from this problem we can arrive like this. Method 1, we are using market price 150, right issue price 115, that is 115. The number of right issue, 2 shares for every 5 shares held. Then method 1, total price of all shares 5 into market price. 5 into market price, that is 5 into 150 plus 2 into right issue. 2 is the right issue. So 2 into 115, 980. Then average price is equal to 980 divided by 5 plus 2. That is existing shares plus right shares is equal to rupees 140. So value of right 150 minus 140, rupees 10 per share. 150 is the market price, 140 is the average price. Once again I am explaining, market price is given in the question 150, right issue price is given 115, number of right issue 2 shares for every 5 share. That means 2 share is the bonus issue, right issue, 5 shares are the existing shares. Okay, total price, how can we calculate total price of all shares? Existing shares into market price, that is 5 into 150 plus right issue into right price, that is 2 into 115, total 980. Average price 980 is the total price divided by total number of shares, that is existing share plus right issue, that is rupees 140. Then value of right 150 minus 140, rupees 10 per share. Okay. Now method 2, where we can use only one formula, number of right issue, that is 2 divided by total number of shares, that is existing shares plus number of right issue, into 150 minus 115, that is rupees 10 per share. Okay. Percentage changes in the capital, that we can calculate like this. Present capital 30 lakhs, right issue 30 lakhs into 2 by 5, so 12 lakh. So percentage increase in share capital, 12 lakh divided by 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs is the present capital, 12 lakh is the increase in the capital after right issue. So the percentage will be 40%. Okay, and thank you for your cooperation, and we can meet again next video with a new class. Okay.